My name is Senior Airman Depew, and today I'll be talking about the symbols in the Air Force. First, I'll be talking about the American flag, the history, and how to display the flag. Second, the Department of the Air Force seal, the history and what the seal represents. Lastly, I'll be talking about the Air Force logo, the representation, and the breakdown of the logo. An introduction is that all this information is from the Airman's Handbook, Section 8B, and I chose this topic because it is highly interesting about finding out the history and what the symbols represent to be in the Air Force today. First, I'm going to talk about the American flag. Some history about the American flag is that it was originally created, what we know as the first flag, by Betsy Ross in 1777. She first developed the flag with 13 white stars in a circle with 13 red and white stripes. This was utilized during the Revolution battles, but many sailors and other military members did not use this as a representation. In 1886, all the stars were removed and was placed with number 1776 over 1886. Then in 1960, all the stars were added to what we know as the 50 states that they represent today. Some different ways on how to present the flag. So in this picture, it shows an honor guard presenting the colors. And if you look closely, the American flag is always put on the left side of the audience. So if you're in the audience, you're always looking and it will always be on the left side. And if you look at the top of each staff, the American flag is always slightly higher than the other flags, such as the state flag or the Air Force flag. And when it's displayed with a crossover, the American flag is on top. Some additional ways to present the flag is in my home unit. This is how we mainly present the colors. It is always, once again, displayed on the left, and then the other flag will be on the right, and the presenter will always be centered in the center. The next way to present it is if it's a closed casket for a fallen member, the field of stars will always be placed above the head and onto the left shoulder. Next, I'm going to talk about the Department of the Air Force seal. And while I have the photo pulled up, I want you to look closely and remember different details about the seal. So I want you to remember the yellow around the seal, the 13 stars, the eagle, the cloud, and the shield. Some history behind the seal was in September 1947, the seal was first drawn. Trump was the president in office in 1947 and approved the seal to represent the Department of the Air Force in November 1st, 1947. So, like I said, I wanted you to remember the different things in the seal that I pointed out. So first, the yellow and blue represent the Air Force seal of 1947. The 13 stars represented the 13 original colonies. The shield is divided up into two parts. There is the eagle. The eagle represents air power. The clouds behind the eagle represent the new sky. And the lightning bolt is the lightning striking through aerospace. Lastly, I'm going to talk about the United States Air Force logo. Within the logo, there's so many different meanings behind it, and I'm going to use this slide to show you how it's broken down. So the wings in the logo, that is the air and power space. The three diamonds below are the three core values: integrity first, service before self, and excellence in all we do. The star that you see in the middle represents one as a family. So we have the Guard, the reserves, active, and civilians. The circle in the middle represents a globe, and the globe equals to power space. And here's a brief, very brief timeline. So the Air Force became their own branch off of the Army in 1947. In 1948, women were allowed to be in the military. It took till 2004 until the Air Force had their own logo to represent of who they are. And today, it's trademarked, there's chants, and it's really great to know that we have something that represents of who we truly are. So in conclusion, I talked about the American flag, what it represents, and how to display. Second, I talked about the Department of the Air Force seal, what it represents, and the meaning behind it. Lastly, I talked about the United States Air Force logo and what it represents with a brief timeline. Thank you for watching.